Hello, friends. Welcome to Podcast Vault. The purpose of this channel is to give you a better listening experience through audiobooks and informative audio content. Whether you're short on time to read or on the go, knowledge is now just a click away. Make sure to watch this video till the end to find out what we have in store for you. If you like our effort, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, comment below and let us know what kind of content you'd like to hear more of. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support. At Podcast Vault, every word is for you.
Welcome to the deep dive. So you sent over this really interesting podcast transcript tour of top language models, strengths and gaps.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
We thought we'd, cut through some of the noise around these AI models.
Yeah.
Think of this as like your personal guide to what they actually do and which ones might actually be relevant for you.
Exactly. The goal isn't to get lost in the technical weeds.
Right.
We're basically aiming to pull out the core info from this transcript, the real capabilities, so you can get a handle on what these tools are truly good for.
Okay, so the sources are clear. This transcript covering a whole range of LLMs.
A real tour, yeah. From the big names everyone knows to some more niche ones.
Right. We're talking about OpenAI's models, GPT-4 and 3.5. Then there's Anthropic's Claude 3 family Haiku, Sonnet, Opus.
And Google's Gemini, Meta's Llama 3, the open source one.
Plus Mistral, DeepSeek R1, Quen from Alibaba, Microsoft's Phi, and even the newer Grok from xAI. Quite the lineup. Yeah, so the mission for you, listening, is to walk away with a much better feel for the strengths, the weaknesses. Basically, which of these might click for what you need or what you're curious about.
Okay, so where should we jump in first?
Let's kick off with GPT-4. OpenAI's big one. The transcript really paints this as, well, one of the most advanced out there. A key thing it mentioned is multimodality.
Right, that's a big differentiator. It's not just text.
Exactly. It can handle images, and the transcript even mentioned some early work with audio input too. Let's kind of unpack that.
Well, that ability to process different types of information, that's where a lot of its power comes from, according to the source. Strengths really lie in things like creative writing, handling complex instructions, really detailed stuff, and generating long-form content. It also flagged its strong reasoning, particularly for structured problems. Think, logic puzzles, maybe even standardized test-type questions.
And it's not just for fun projects, right? The transcript pointed to professional uses law, research.
Absolutely. That suggests a certain level of reliability needed for those serious tasks.
But there are downsides.
Definitely. The transcript is clear on that. Cost is a big one. Running GPT-4 isn't cheap, especially if you use it a lot.
Right.
And the other classic issue, hallucinations. It can sometimes just make things up but sound completely confident about it.
The confident wrong answer problem. Okay. So powerful, but needs verification.
You got it.
Now, what about its sibling, GPT 3.5? The transcript frames this as the faster, cheaper option.
Yeah, that's the gist. It's often the engine behind a lot of everyday AI tools. The transcript highlighted it's good for general chat, basic summarization, classifying text.
So more for, common tasks?
Pretty much. Think customer service bots, drafting emails, maybe some educational tools. It's quick and cost-effective for those.
But the trade-off is?
Less horsepower, essentially. The transcript notes it's weaker on really complex reasoning. And unlike GPT-4, it's text only. No images or audio there.
Okay, clear distinction. Let's move to Anthropic's Claude 3 family. The transcript really seemed to emphasize their focus on safety, right? Helpful, honest, harmless.
That's their whole philosophy, and it comes through in the models. The transcript broke down the 3 tiers, Haiku, the fast, compact one, Sonnet, kind of the middle ground, balanced, and Opus, their most powerful.
And across the board, strength.
Yeah, the transcript mentioned really good reasoning abilities, strong coding performance, and interestingly, handling really long documents while keeping things coherent, like summarizing a whole book, potentially.
Wow. Okay.
And that ethical angle means they're built to push back on harmful prompts, which is a distinct feature.
Interesting. Any drawbacks mentioned?
A couple. Access to Opus, the top model, is apparently limited in some regions.
Ah, okay.
And like others, they can still sometimes misunderstand the nuances or context of a request, according to the transcript.
Right. Context is tricky. Okay, let's switch gears to Google's Gemini. The transcript positions this as their big multimodal play integrated across their stuff.
Yeah. Think Google ecosystem. Its strength, highlighted in the transcript, is definitely handling diverse data, text, images, video, code all together.
That sounds powerful.
And it also boasts a long context window. We mentioned that with Claude Gemini's is also good for chewing through large documents or long chat histories.
Useful for sure. Any potential issues flagged in the transcript?
Yes, hallucinations, again, potentially more so when it's trying to juggle different data types at once, like an image and text about it.
Okay, complexity adds risk.
And performance can apparently vary a bit depending on which specific Gemini version you're accessing.
Got it. All right, let's head to open source. Meta's Llama A3. The transcript really played up the open aspect, right?
Yeah.
Freedom for developers.
Huge point. That openness lets people really tinker, fine-tune it for specific needs. It drives a lot of community innovation.
And capabilities.
The transcript highlighted strong language skills, good code generation, decent problem solving. Plus, it comes in different sizes, so it's adaptable.
But being open source, does that mean more work for the user sometimes?
Potentially, yeah. The transcript pointed out performance really depends on that fine-tuning. Out of the box, it might need tweaking.
Makes sense.
And for now, it needs other tools if you want it to see images or handle other non-text data.
Okay. Next. Mistral AI. Large and mixed-role models. The transcript seemed to focus on efficiency, high performance, smaller package.
That's the core idea. They combine open weights, meaning the model structure is somewhat accessible with really fast performance or inference.
Fast is good for real-time stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chatbots, quick analysis, and the transcript notes they punch above their weight on benchmarks despite being smaller than some giants.
The strengths are speed and efficiency then, limitations.
The transcript mentioned maybe slightly less community support compared to, say, OpenAI or Google, and they're primarily focused on text tasks right now.
Gotcha. How about DeepSeek R1? The transcript pegged this one as strong for technical stuff. Reasoning, math, coding.
Yeah, if that's your focus, this one sounds promising based on the transcript. It specifically called out excellence in math problems and code generation.
A specialist.
Seems like it. And it's open source, actively developed, which is a plus.
Any caveats for non-technical use?
The transcript hinted you might need to be more careful with your prompts, maybe do some fine-tuning if you're using it way outside those core math coding strengths.
Okay. Let's look at Quinn from Alibaba Cloud. Multilingual, multimodal, open license. That sounds like a potent mix, according to the transcript.
It really does, supporting lots of languages. Designed for cross-lingual tasks, that's a big deal globally, as the transcript noted.
And it understands images, too.
Images and text together, yeah.
Yeah.
Adds versatility.
The transcript mentioned potential trade-offs for being so global.
Maybe slightly less peak performance on purely English benchmarks compared to English-first models.
Okay.
And maybe less adoption, so fewer ready-made tools in Western developer circles right now.
All right. Microsoft's Spy family next. Transcript described these as small but mighty, high-performing but for specific smaller tasks.
Exactly. Think narrow focus. The transcript highlighted strengths like rewriting, classification, detailed text analysis, like token-level stuff.
And the small size means?
Low memory needs. Good for running on devices without a ton of power, like edge devices.
So not the go-to for writing a novel or having a deep chat?
Probably not. The transcript explicitly mentioned they aren't ideal for creative writing or long conversations, and no multimodal capabilities currently.
Okay. And finally, Grok from xAI, Elon Musk's venture. Still early days, the transcript said.
Very much so. But worth noting, the transcript mentioned the 1.5V version already handles multimodal input.
Interesting.
And obviously designed with an eye towards integration with X, formerly Twitter.
So one to watch, but maybe not quite prime time yet.
The transcript suggested output quality is still a bit variable, and use cases are mostly experimental for now.
Okay, wow. That's a lot of models. Stepping back, the transcript also gave a good summary of what most of these LLMs can do, right? The common ground.
Yeah, that's important. Most are good at generating text stories, dialogue, articles.
Translation.
Yep, language translation is a big one. Summarizing documents, answering questions based on their training data.
Code rate, too.
Definitely. Python, JavaScript, lots of languages. They power chatbots, analyze sentiment, rewrite text, make recommendations. It's a broad skill set.
Super useful. But the transcript didn't shy away from the shared limitations, which are pretty crucial to understand.
Absolutely critical. Having realistic expectations is key.
So what were the main warnings the transcript highlighted?
Well, number one is still hallucination risk. Confidently wrong answers. That's a biggie.
Right.
They also reflect biases from their training data. They don't truly understand concepts. They're predicting words, very sophisticated pattern matching.
And practical limits. Like memory.
Exactly. That limited context window, they can only remember so much of a conversation. They can struggle with really complex multi-step logic.
And prompt sensitivity, like how you ask matters a lot.
Hugely. Small changes in wording can give very different results. Plus, the big models cost money and energy to run. No persistent memory between chats, and of course, the potential for misuse is always there with powerful tech. The transcript made sure to mention that.
So the bottom line from the transcript, when choosing one, is really about your specific goal.
Precisely. Know what you need it for. Each one has its sweet spot, its trade-offs. There's no single best for everything.
And it's moving fast.
Incredibly fast. The transcript noted continuous improvements in reasoning, bias reduction, cost. It's a rapidly evolving field.
Okay. So wrapping this up, hopefully this deep dive into that tour of top language models transcript gives you, our listener, a much clearer map of the current LLM landscape.
Yeah, understanding the players, their strengths, the caveats, it should help you approach these tools with, informed eyes.
Definitely.
Right.
And maybe leave you with a final thought to chew on.
Right. As you think about all these different capabilities we've talked about and how fast everything is changing, what specific problem or area that you're interested in might be worth exploring further with one of these models?
Yeah. What possibilities or even new questions does this raise for your own work or curiosity? Something to consider.